Did Monday Night Raw build off the momentum from last week's fantastic show, or did they go straight to Viperville with Brock Lesnar? Let's talk about it. You know, the past week in WWE, we've been given one hell of a Monday Night Raw. And all I proclaimed last week was, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. Last week was fantastic. Everybody ate it up. Everybody was excited. Everybody was thrilled that we got a great fucking Monday Night Raw. And it was one of the most successful shows in the eyes of fans. The numbers might not show it, and I don't give a shit about the fucking numbers. If you're a fan and you know what the product has been each and every Monday night, and then you watched that show last week, you know that WWE gave us a damn good fucking show. And rumor has it that Vince McMahon booked last week's show. I would love to know if that's fucking complete bullshit or if it's really a fact. Because if Vince McMahon booked last week's show, then the old man has some fucking juice left in the tank. I will say that. I would never put down what Vince McMahon has done for the company as a whole. The man is and was a creative genius. I just don't think he's in tune with the product. But if that's the case, and that is really the news that's going around, that Vince McMahon booked last week's show, good for him. Good for him. We need to see that every single fucking week. Now, what I will say, and I'm going to repeat myself here because it really is the basis of what I want to talk about. Last week, we all knew Monday Night Raw hit a grand slam. They hit a home run. They fucking knocked it out of the park. And what they needed to do is take that, build on that, and show us what they could do the second week, the third week, the fourth week leading into SummerSlam. That's what they had to do. Take what they did so great last week and just not overcomplicate things. Simple booking. Take who you want on the roster. Take your ideas and simply apply them to the show and give us what you're going to give Monday Night Raw to represent at SummerSlam. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do. I am not saying that WWE had to come out here and give us a show like they did last week, because that would be unfair of me and unfair of you. There's no way that WWE was going to top what they did last week. They didn't need to. Last week was necessary. Last week for Monday Night Raw and the WWE in general as a whole was necessary for the business and the product. Like I said, numbers might not show it. You might have your Russos and your Cornettes and your fucking everybody else just fucking completely ripping the show. Your Ric Flairs. This guy's not a main event. It should have been Roman Reigns. Balor's a cruiserweight. I don't see this and that and blah, blah, blah. All this other bullshit that was being talked about. The most opinionated week in the history of WWE is what last week was. But Monday Night Raw, no matter how many times you put the fucking show down, deep in your mind, you know, with what we've been given the past 3 years on this fucking night for that fucking program, you know for a fact, no matter how much you fucking hate it, or no matter how much you thought Roman Reigns should have won and beat Finn Balor last week was a good show. Last week, they did things right. Last week, they made the changes that were necessary. Subtle changes, changes that are noticeable to the eye, but not overdone. Everything they did last week was needed. Everything. They needed to come out and make a good first impression. And you guys heard my analogy last week when I talked about the whole guy getting pretty for his date and dating a beautiful girl that he X'd out, ending the night with a kiss, waiting for that fucking return phone call for a second date, and he never gets anything. That's not what we want Monday Night Raw to be this week and next week and the week to follow going into SummerSlam. We didn't want that to happen. We at least wanted to get a second date. We wanted that second date, no matter how the date goes, as long as it was a good date and it built off the first date. And you got to know this girl a little bit better than you did the first time you took her out. That's all you needed to have happen. You cannot base tonight's show on what they did last week. Last week was a fucking once-in-a-blue-moon type thing. And those are the best moments in WWE. When you get shit like that last week. When you get fucking massive surprises that nobody fucking knows of. And it's a genuine mark-out moment. Last week was a mark-out moment for WWE fans. You don't want that to happen every single week. It would get fucking boring. As long as they stay the course, give us direction, things make sense, they don't make a total fucking clown of themselves, as long as they give us good television. Television that doesn't put me to sleep. Television that's going to build towards SummerSlam. Television that's going to tell me a good story between the fucking wrestlers that you have in programs right now. Most importantly, 3 hours that does not drag. And make me want to fucking just go outside and play Pokemon Go. I don't care. Give me good television. That's all you need to do. To base this show off last week's show is unfair. And you're not thinking clearly as a wrestling fan. It's not fair to you, it's not fair to me, it's not fair to the WWE. Last week was a once-in-a-blue-moon type opportunity for WWE that needed to happen. They obviously have the roster and the talent and the skills and the creative mind to put on a good show. Obviously. But don't expect them of that every single week. That was the first thing I said last week when I talked about Monday Night Raw. The weeks to follow will be the most crucial, I said. And that's exactly what we are going to monitor, not only tonight, the following week, the next week, leading into SummerSlam, being that we have 3 weeks before SummerSlam in Brooklyn. Crucial weeks. Was it a good show tonight? Yes. Yes, it was a good show. I don't want you guys to compare what you've seen tonight to last week. Now, SmackDown's a different story. I give you all the fucking permission in the world to go and compare SmackDown that we see tomorrow to last week's show, because they can only go up from last week's show. Last week's show was an absolute fucking piss-poor embarrassment that made me want to fucking kill myself. It was that bad. Nothing made sense. I don't give a shit who says what to me. I'm being illogical. I'm being unfair. I know what I seen. I have 20/20 vision. I know for a fact SmackDown sucked cock. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. I watched the same show that you did. I watched it differently. You did not see what I seen. Listen to my video where I state the 10 reasons on YouTube that SmackDown Live sucked for the first show of the new era. That's all you gotta do. That's all you have to do. And if you don't listen, you're a goon. And you're illogical, and you're closed-minded, and you just want to believe you're right. So SmackDown, I give you all the permission in the world tomorrow to compare it to last week's show, because it was fucking terrible. If they go down and get worse from last week's show, then we have a fucking problem. And you thought last week's rant was bad. Wait till you see tomorrow. I don't want to go that route, man. I want to stay positive. I want SmackDown to succeed. I want to see the American Alpha. I want to see Alexa Bliss. I want to see what Dolph Ziggler can do. I don't think they're going to build him up in 3 weeks' time to get ready for Dean Ambrose after this guy was fucking jobbing out to Heath Slater on Monday Night Raw in 2016 and jobbing out to Baron Corbin on pre-shows all year. You got to make me believe that he's worth a world title shot. He's going to he could steal the show. I'm not taking anything away from Ziggler. The fact that I didn't like Ziggler winning that match is because it's too little too late. It's too little too late. When you beat someone down for 3 years after we all knew he was worth so much more, and WWE said, fuck you to the fans, how much more can we invest in someone that's been beaten down for 3 years? You can't. There comes a time and a place where people move on. The people who want Ziggler to fucking get this opportunity are the diehards. The diehards. People like me, we're the realists. 3 years this guy had and went nowhere. Now we're supposed to all of a sudden care about Ziggler being in the main event of SummerSlam, which he's not going to be in the main event of SummerSlam. Balor and Rollins are going to main event SummerSlam. Simple. Simple. So, what good is it? It might be the third match down, the fourth match down from SummerSlam. The way things are going right now, we got to see. But like I said, if SmackDown gets worse compared to last week, then we got a serious fucking problem. So I give you all the permission in the world to rate SmackDown tomorrow night against last week's show. What we seen with Monday Night Raw, it's impossible. You can't do it. You can't do it. I'll take good. I will take good for Monday Night Raw because what we've been given, listen, 2015, 2016, good is great in terms of WWE. I'll take good. Tonight was a good show. It had direction. We got a very, very nice picture of what SummerSlam is going to be for Monday Night Raw. And we really didn't have too much of the authority figures again. We've seen a little bit more than, a little bit more of Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley compared to last week, but it wasn't overbearing. It was not overbearing. There were dull moments here and there. The Atlanta crowd wasn't all that excited through most of the show. We got some great matches on tonight's show. But all in all, it did what it needed to do. It gave you 3 hours of television that wasn't boring, and it built towards SummerSlam. We got a clear picture of what SummerSlam is going to be. That's it. And that's all I want. I want WWE to take what they got, build, and build, and build, and when we get to SummerSlam, we see what they built. We see how well everything they're putting together will be at SummerSlam on the grand stage. That's all I want. I'm a simple fucking guy. For us to want what happened last week every single week is illogical. It's not happening. That's a fantasy world. You want to see that? Just watch my WWE 2K16 live streams. I'll give you that type of Monday Night Raw every fucking show. Because I can. It's a fucking video game. If this was a video game, Monday Night Raw would be the fucking greatest show on television. There'd be no 2.4 ratings. There'd be fucking 7.7 ratings. Back like they were in the fucking Attitude Era. Believe me, it's not right. It's illogical and it's unfair. It's unfair. It was a good show, and that's all we can ask. That's all we should be asking for a Monday Night Raw. As long as it gets a thumbs up and they progress with what they got going on for SummerSlam, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Simple as that. Now, Monday Night Raw started off, and it started off differently. Opening sequence, we didn't see no authority figures. We didn't see Seth Rollins or Finn Balor or Roman Reigns. Started off with Sasha Banks, being that she just won the Women's Championship. Started off with a women's segment. I was going to say divas again. It started to come out, and I fucking stopped myself. Still can't get over the fact. Sasha Banks opens Monday Night Raw. Belt looks bigger than she does. So, everybody in Atlanta chanting, "You deserve it." She does deserve it. She's worked her ass off. And before she even says anything of importance, Charlotte comes out. Crowd starts chanting, "You tapped out." And Charlotte says it was a fluke because she was champion for 300 days. And Sasha then says, okay, you were champion for 300 days. You would have never been champion without her dad by her side. Pretty much. She was given the opportunity and given the championship because she's had people to help her along the way. Jericho, out of nowhere, comes to interrupt. Jericho calls Charlotte royalty and thinks she's done more than Ric Flair ever did in his entire career. Now we get to the important point. What makes Sasha the boss? Jericho was absolutely hilarious. This entire opening segment, before it even gets good, was fucking hilarious. Jericho brings up the Snoop Dogg connection, calls Sasha a brat. Enzo Amore comes out without Big Cass, and he's kissing Sasha's hand, and they're kind of engaging in a flirtatious type way. Sasha doesn't seem to mind, and she's egging it on. Charlotte has heard bad things about Enzo's love life, and she tried to use the soft catchphrase to compare Enzo's love life, which was fucking hilarious. This turns into just one huge fucking rib on one another. Jericho starts impersonating Big Cass. Sasha starts impersonating Enzo before it turns into Enzo saying Jericho is like a messed up iPhone. Jericho calls Enzo a hip-hop hobbit, so the fans called Jericho a stupid idiot. Enzo talks about going back in time and warning Jericho to not buy that scarf, but Mick Foley comes out after about 17 minutes of comedy gold between all four of these individuals, Sasha, Charlotte, Enzo, and Jericho. Foley comes out, and Foley says, Enzo's a certified G, I'm a certified GM. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a mixed tag team match. So that's the opening match to open Monday Night Raw. Enzo and Sasha Banks versus Jericho and Charlotte. Very entertaining segment. Very entertaining match. Charlotte and Jericho beat Sasha Banks and Enzo Amore. Natural selection to Sasha Banks. Two things that I noticed in this match. Number one, Sasha Banks took the pinfall. I do not like that. I do not like that. I understand why WWE might have went this direction with this outcome. You know, Dana Brooke interfered, and it gave Charlotte more heel heat, beating the champion after saying that she didn't need anybody to beat Sasha Banks. There's Dana Brooke. So I understand why WWE might have did it. I just don't like to see Sasha Banks, after winning the Women's Championship just a week earlier, already being pinned. I am against that, to see a champion being pinned. Champions should only be pinned when they're about to lose the title, or if they're going to lose the title and the next person in line is going to run with that title. I don't want to see any champions being pinned. If it's by a fucking bullshit way that's completely cheating to give massive heel heat to somebody, okay, the situation has to be right. But I don't want Sasha Banks taking a pinfall off a lame interference by Dana Brooke. Sasha Banks is the WWE Women's Champion. She should be smarter than that. She should not be falling for these fucking silly, stupid, illogical tricks by Dana Brooke. She was just making fun of Dana Brooke in the earlier segment. You know? Where's your little pet? Where's your little fucking toy? Dana Brooke. Your little slave, Dana Brooke. But Dana Brooke comes back into this match, or comes out during this match, pretty much makes Sasha Banks eat her words. I don't like that. Number two, the referee was a complete fucking goon in this match. After the decision and the natural selection hit the 3 count on Sasha Banks, the referee, I don't know his name, took the title and ran over to Charlotte to give the title to Charlotte, as if she's still the Women's Champion. Is this a precursor to what we're going to see at SummerSlam? Is Sasha going to lose the title back to Charlotte at SummerSlam, only having a 3-week reign? Sasha looked pissed. Give me my fucking title. You know, referee acted like a fucking goon. I don't know if you guys seen that, but the referee legit took the title that should be around Sasha's waist and started handing it to Charlotte. I don't know, man. I don't know. Post-match, Enzo takes a code breaker. Big Cass comes out for the save. And that's all we would have seen of Big Cass tonight on Monday Night Raw. Moving on here, Braun Strowman versus Evan Anderhold. When asked why he's here, Evan says it's because he gets $1,000 and $5,000 if he wins. Question is, would you step into the ring for $1,000 against Braun Strowman? I don't know. I think I might leave a fucking poll somewhere on my Twitter or on my YouTube video. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Would you take $1,000 to step in the ring against Braun Strowman? And knowing what this guy's capable of, would you be okay with that? Comfortable with that? $5,000 if he wins. Those numbers serve as great joke material for the announcers during Evan's massacre. Even Byron Saxton says you have a better chance of hitting the fucking Powerball numbers and being a multi-millionaire. So, I don't know what's going on with that, but whatever the case may be, what do you think happened? Braun Strowman, reverse chokeslam, less than a minute to Evan Anderhold, and that was it. That was it. I don't know where they're going with Braun Strowman. I don't know who they have lined up for Braun Strowman, but all I know is that Braun Strowman is somehow getting a push on WWE television. This obviously cannot continue week after week after week. What I would like to see is Evan Anderhold and fucking last week's guy who looked scared shitless like he shit his fucking pants. I'd love to see these two guys come back next week and have a fucking handicap match against Braun Strowman. That's what I would like to see. Listen, if WWE's going to have fun with this, I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it, man. Give these guys a rematch, give them a handicap match, and then just continuously feed him, man, like they did Ryback. 3 guys, 4 guys, 5 guys. I would love to see it, man. And eventually, whoever they got planned to take on Braun Strowman as a legit threat, whoever that guy might be, I don't know, Big Show, God forbid, guarantee you it's the Big Show. Guarantee you. And at that point, please, I think we're all going to fucking drink NyQuil to get to sleep a little bit quicker than we usually do. Give me a break. You heard it here first. If it happens, I don't want to jinx nobody. I don't want to make you guys fucking vomit. But I'm telling you right now, I can guarantee, I can see it. Clear as day. Strowman versus Big Show. Please. What the fuck did I just say, man? Watch it come true. Oh my God. Anyway, we got, listen, man, Golden Truth. I don't know what the fuck the WWE's doing with these guys. I mean, honestly, what are they doing with the Golden Truth? This team can be like Golden Book was with Booker T and Goldust. They were serious. They were serious. I was just watching SummerSlam. What was it, 2002? They were fighting the Un-Americans, Lance Storm and Christian Cage. There was no joking around with Booker T and Goldust. They were all serious in that match. R-Truth and Goldust can legit fucking go. They can legit go. But you've delegated these guys to nothing but comedy, and these guys are fucking playing Pokemon Go during their match. This entire 2-week feud with the Shining Stars is built off Pokemon Go. What does that say about Golden Truth? Better question is, do the Shining Stars get service for Pokemon Go? Do they have great cellular service down in Puerto Rico when we are vacationing or when you're selling timeshare down there? Because if I'm going to miss out on a fucking Pikachu or I'm going to miss out on a fucking, I don't know, Electabuzz, listen, bro, I'm not buying you timeshare if I got no fucking service. I got to catch my Pokemon. Give me a break. Shining Stars are awful. But if this is what they're worth, if this is all they're worth to WWE, why the fuck are they on my TV? Seriously. Golden Truth, they lose a fucking match thanks to R-Truth playing Pokemon Go in 2 minutes, and it was a sunset flip to Goldust. After the match, Truth continues to hunt Pokemon in the game, or in the ring. Give me a break. Absolutely terrible. Michael Cole brings out Finn Balor for a chat. Finn says he's here to prove his draft status, but Seth Rollins cuts him off immediately. Before he even gets a couple of words out, Seth Rollins cuts him off. First thing I want to mention, I love Seth Rollins' fake laugh. It's hilarious. Who's got a better laugh, JD or Seth Rollins? I don't know, man. I think we're about even. Anyway, Seth Rollins tells us about Balor being a former NXT champion, though he wasn't the first NXT champion, because obviously that went to Seth Rollins. Balor was also a first-round pick, but he wasn't the overall #1 pick, because that was Seth Rollins as well. Last week, Balor pinned Roman Reigns, even though Rollins did that same thing in the first match he had back after a career-threatening injury. Balor is just like a bad Hollywood remake, like the new Ghostbusters movie. I haven't seen it, but I heard it was completely fucking miserable. The idea of Balor beating Seth for the title is like the Atlanta Braves, and I chuckled here because I'm a Atlanta Braves fan, as you can see on my hat. I wear it fucking every day. Like the Atlanta Braves winning the World Series. And the best thing about this fucking segment was not Seth Rollins' great mic work. It was not Finn Balor. It was not the sight of Finn Balor. It was the legit way that Seth Rollins poked fun and took a cheap shot at the Atlanta Braves, and the entire crowd started doing the fucking tomahawk chop, which I miss so badly. You look back at the fucking World Series and the playoff games that they had back in the early 90s, man, that tomahawk chop, even if you weren't a Braves fan, got you fucking hyped. Hyped! I miss that shit, man. They're awful. They're absolutely fucking awful. They just traded for Matt Kemp. I don't know what the fuck Matt Kemp is going to do. The guy's fucking deteriorating, right? They're going to pay him fucking $9 million a year. But the team just isn't the same, man. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I miss my Braves, man. I miss my tomahawk chop. That was a fucking cheap shot at me, Rollins, bro. Come on now. Tomahawk chop was the best thing about this segment, man. That really brought out the fucking little kid in me. It made me smile. But he says, like, the Atlanta Braves winning the World Series. That's the idea he has of him thinking, oh, Balor can beat me. It's like, you know, the Braves have a better chance of winning the World Series. Balor says everywhere he's gone, there's been someone like Seth. They're saying they're the man until Balor comes and takes that spot. They may have a lot of things in common, but at least Finn earned his spot in the title match instead of having it handed to him. The brawl is about to start, but Balor easily kicks him out of the ring to the floor, sending Seth Rollins running to the back. So I'm loving this match. I'm loving the idea of this match. If you don't, you're a goon completely. This match will main event SummerSlam. I'm not going to tell you who I think is going to win right now, but if I had to choose one, Seth Rollins will beat Finn Balor. For whatever reason, I'm not going to tell you right now because I really want to save it for another time. I want to save it for another podcast. I want to save it for Off The Script. I want to save it for when we talk about a SummerSlam preview. Seth Rollins needs to beat Finn Balor. This is going to be a match to fucking steal the show. It might be match of the year, the way these two guys are and what these guys are capable of. But Balor, it's too early for him to win the title. If he's going to be a babyface and he's going to be the one guy to chase, that's where the money is, in the chase. Give Rollins back the title. Roman's not going to be in the title picture for a little bit. If it's Rollins and Balor, I'm okay with that. Rollins is the champion, Balor chasing the heel champion as a babyface. That's the way you got to go. And that's what I see happening. Great segment. For the goons who said Balor sucks on the microphone, listen, it's his weakest asset. It's his weakest game. The weakest part of his game. But he's not terrible. He's better than Roman Reigns. I know it's the accent. You got to get used to it. But get used to seeing him and get used to hearing him. He will get better. They're not going to let him go out there and fail. They've put too much into Finn Balor as far as what he did in NXT. They will not put him out there in a situation that he is not ready for. Balor will get ready. And Balor will get better for what needs to happen. Trust me. He didn't sound too bad. He's not great. I can cut a better promo than Finn Balor. But he wasn't bad. He was listenable, and he got by it. No problem. U.S. title, Mark Henry versus Rusev. Mark Henry is quickly treading get off my TV status. I don't give a shit. Rusev, Mark Henry, accolade, 6 minutes and 35 seconds. Nothing really exciting in the match at all. Post-match, seems like WWE might be listening to me, and I knew this was happening, and I quickly took to Twitter to brag about this happening. Roman Reigns comes out after Rusev takes the microphone to rip the American Olympic teams for having been rigged. That no American athlete can be competitive against a Russian or Bulgarian athlete. This brings out Roman Reigns, and there was a huge mixed reaction. People were cheering Roman Reigns more so than the weeks prior, but there's a reason for that. And it's a reason I'm really not too fond of, but you got to think about what WWE's doing here. The lengths that they have taken to get Roman Reigns over. They will do absolutely anything to get this fucking clown over. Okay? So this is the next thing in line, which I didn't really think they were going to do. I thought it might have been Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn, or Roman Reigns versus somebody else, Kevin Owens. You know, I could have easily seen Cesaro challenging Rusev for the United States Championship at SummerSlam, but they're going with Roman Reigns versus Rusev, which the idea of the match I am totally in favor of. But WWE will do anything to get this man over. And the latest thing now that they're trying is Rusev tearing down the American Olympic team, being that we have the Olympic ceremony coming up. And Mark Henry mentioned the Olympics and that he's going to be an ambassador. Mark Henry failed. Out comes Roman Reigns as the newest attempt at an American hero. That's all he's doing. WWE is so desperate they are going to let Roman Reigns try and feed off this American versus foreigner aspect. That's the only reason why he was cheered. That's the cheapest fucking way to go about things. That's the easiest rule in the book. If you want to get fucking massive heat as a fucking heel and that overwhelming fucking passion for a babyface, what do? You put them in an American versus foreign fanatic type feud. and situation. And that's exactly what they're doing here. The reason why Roman Reigns was cheered was not because people all of a sudden realized, oh, we're going to forgive Roman Reigns. We like Roman Reigns now. No. He's done nothing to really prove to you that he's worth cheering. WWE's putting him in this American role against the Bulgarian brute, trying to be one for America. That's why he's getting cheered. That's the reason why WWE is so obsessed with pushing this guy. The fact that he got cheers tonight, they fucking creamed their pants when they heard that shit. But we all knew what WWE was trying to do. It was cheap. And another desperate attempt to get this guy over. Meanwhile, instead of doing the right thing and having him embrace the hate, no. They just want to continue and continue and try and try and try. But every attempt that they do now is looking more and more pathetic. But the overall aspect of this match, I called it last week. This is a no-brainer. Rusev and Roman Reigns have great chemistry together. This was shown several times in their one-on-one matches in the past. And I like this match. I like the fact that this will be a competitive match. I like the fact that this gives Rusev a big match for SummerSlam. I like this role for Roman Reigns, being that he's no longer in the main event scene right now. I am okay with him being in this role. In fact, this is the role that he should have been in before he even ascended to the WWE Championship. 3 times, what is it, 4 times or 3 times? I lost fucking count. I don't fucking care, but for the amount of times that Roman Reigns has held the WWE Championship in the last 2 years, it's fucking sickening. Absolutely sickening. Roman Reigns should have been an Intercontinental Champion or a U.S. Champion first before he even touched or looked at the WWE Championship. That is a fact. So now that he's in this role, I am okay with this. Rusev has an opponent for SummerSlam. Roman Reigns looks good in a mid-card role, right? And there's only one clear-cut winner from this match. Rusev needs the win. If this match is going to happen at SummerSlam, which I'm pretty sure it is at this point, Rusev needs an accolade, and he needs Roman to either fucking pass out or tap. One or the other. You've put so much into Rusev to get him back, slowly building him back into that monster. You're going to wash it all away with one fucking Superman punch? It's not the way you do things, WWE. What is more important to you? Building Roman Reigns, which you're going to do anyway. You're going to do it regardless whether fucking people completely hate this guy's guts and start throwing fucking shit in the ring. NWO style. Or are you going to build someone who is your United States champion, who needs it more after the fucking disgrace that you bestowed upon him for months following his feud with John Cena? What's more important? I say building the United States Championship and its champion. Rusev goes into SummerSlam. He needs a win desperately over Roman Reigns. Roman does not need it. We've had 2 years of Roman. Rusev's time is now. This is the reason why you're booking this match. New era, right? New opportunity. Time for new talent to shine. Roman's not a new talent. Roman is not a new talent. He's had his day in the sun. He's had his day in the sun with his fucking feet in the sand and a cold Corona in his right hand. It's Rusev's time. If you don't believe that, I don't know what the fuck you're watching. And I don't know where your mind is. Roman fans are going to say Roman needs it because they're Roman fans. And they'll fucking worship this guy until the fucking sun rises and the sun sets. But Rusev needs it. Because I have no other fucking reason for you. Because. That's my reason. Look at what Rusev has done in the past 2 years. You tell me who needs it more. That's all I'm going to say about that. Darren Young versus Titus O'Neil. This match actually happened, and Titus O'Neil on the pre-show said what we've all been saying for weeks. I enjoyed Darren Young. Make Darren Young great again, but when were you ever great? I love that, man. I absolutely love that. That was a heel side of Titus O'Neil I've been waiting to see for fucking months. This match happens, and Titus O'Neil cheats. He rolls him up from behind and pulls the tights. Backlund starts yelling at the referee. Then we see Backlund in the back yelling at Titus O'Neil. Titus O'Neil gets in Backlund's face, saying, "Old man, if you get in my face one more time, I'm going to fucking slap the shit out of you." And then Darren Young comes out of nowhere with a flying elbow, levels Titus, floors him, and that's it. I wouldn't mind this feud to continue on into SummerSlam if they build towards something that makes sense. I wouldn't mind this being a nice undercard match for SummerSlam. You know? Obviously, these two know of each other. Former tag team champion. Were they tag team champions? I think so. Now, let's see how much I fucking care about the fucking primetime players. Give me a break. Not one of my favorite tag teams at all. I do believe they were tag team champions. But regardless of that, they are former partners. The intrigue just off that alone is there. And I would like to see this continue, to see where they go with this, man. I like that Titus O'Neil got the win that he did by rolling up the tights. And it really plays on into going into next week, you know? It is what it is. Handful of tights, 4 minutes, Titus O'Neil wins. Titus O'Neil, you know, even though he is that ambassador for being a great father figure, Titus O'Neil showing a cocky side to him and showing himself to be somewhat of a heel, I like it, man. That could be the change that he needs to freshen up his character. I like it. Hope we see more of that. Nia Jax versus Ariel Monroe. Do I even need to go over what happened here? Power slam. Fireman's carry into a power slam, I should say. 1 minute and 12 seconds. Post-match, Saxton asks Nia how it feels to be here. So she runs over Ariel again. And then Nia says, why don't you ask her? Man, Nia Jax is going to be a fucking beast, man. My question is, who are they going to get to feud with Nia Jax when these enhancement matches run dry? You know, a lot of you said Paige. Some of you actually said WWE could bring back Karma. I would love that idea, man. I would love to see that. Karma back in WWE. Awesome Kong back in WWE versus Nia Jax. Battle of the fucking Beasts. I would love to see that, man. But Paige could certainly be an option. Or she can continue this going into SummerSlam. Sit out SummerSlam for now. Challenge Sasha Banks or Charlotte after the pay-per-view. I don't know. I don't know what the case is. Maybe they bring up Bayley, and Bayley can be Nia Jax's first opponent, picking up where they left off down in NXT. Could be a possible option as well. But I'm assuming WWE would like to have Nia Jax on the pay-per-view. Maybe it is Paige. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But Nia Jax looking very dominant again on Monday Night Raw. 1 minute and 12 seconds. Fireman's carry into a power slam. New Day versus Gallows and Anderson. This match lasted 1 minute and 19 seconds. I know a lot of you people are saying, JD, the fucking Bullet Club, the Gallows and Anderson, they're fucking done. They're treating them like shit, as always. But there was a post-match incident here in which the New Day just got completely destroyed. You know, Magic Killer, they made them look good. And the one thing I'm confused with here is that the New Day is feuding with Gallows and Anderson. Why? I could have sworn that the money match for SummerSlam, being that they're on the same brand as well, as Enzo and Cass versus the New Day. I don't get that. Even though they're two face teams, that match would have blown the roof off of the Barclays Center. Now it looks like we're getting Enzo and Cass versus Kevin Owens and Jericho. Might be a tag team match at SummerSlam. Because what are you going to do with Enzo and Cass? I don't know. What are you going to do with Sami Zayn at SummerSlam? I don't know. There's still a lot of open-ended questions regarding Monday Night Raw. But New Day looks like they're headed to SummerSlam to fight Anderson and Gallows. Anderson and Gallows looking to challenge the New Day for the Tag Team Championships. But they got destroyed. They left the New Day laying in the middle of the ring. Big E is crotched against the fucking the ring post. And they really hammered the post home, or hammered the point home, I should say, for the New Day. But again, I'm just confused as to why, you know, Anderson and Gallows didn't win the match in decisive fashion by cheating and then getting the upper hand. I mean, they certainly could use that type of attention. New Day doesn't need it. They really don't. And I'm still confused as to why this is going to be the tag team title match at SummerSlam. I don't know. I think they could do better. Jinder Mahal makes a return to the WWE. He beats Heath Slater in 14 seconds. Heath Slater comes to the ring saying that he's the best free agent on the market, not signed to a brand. Mick Foley comes out and says that, okay, you brought your man Jinder Mahal back, 2MB, right? Drew McIntyre's probably fucking laughing at the fact that he's not there. Imagine that. 2MB, Mick Foley says, well, I have one Raw contract, and I'm going to put you guys in a match, right? And the winner of this match gets the Raw contract. What happens? Jinder Mahal wins, kick to the face, 14 seconds. Who cares? Jinder Mahal's back on Monday Night Raw. Let me fucking explode with excitement. over the fact that Jinder Mahal is back. Who gives a shit? Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins was realistically the main event of the evening. We had this match go 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Why we even seen the Shining Stars and Goldust with R-Truth versus the Shining Stars. I don't know why we got that shit and we got less of this. That could have been completely wiped away from this Monday Night Raw. And the 5 minutes that we seen of all four of those guys wasting away and all their segments that they did and filmed for Monday Night Raw, it could have been given to Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. Because the match went 11 minutes. I could have seen another 11 minutes of it. That's how fucking great these two guys are. Why would you ever take time away from a Sami Zayn Seth Rollins main event on Monday Night Raw? I don't know. Great match. Rollins wins clean. Pedigree. Obvious choice here. Needs to look strong going into SummerSlam. Sami Zayn looked good in defeat. Again, another week with a fucking Blue Thunder Bomb and a 2.5. I'm waiting for the day that Sami Zayn beats somebody with a Blue Thunder Bomb. Please, make it happen. The move is fucking gorgeous. I mark out every time he fucking hits it. And that little springboard he does off the fucking top rope where he arm drags the fucking guy and swings him into a DDT. That shit's fucking beautiful as well, man. Sami Zayn's got a great fucking moveset. Again, I wonder what they're going to do with him at SummerSlam. I don't know. Hopefully he's got something big planned. Or maybe they just put everybody in a fucking six-man tag. Maybe they put Enzo, Cass, and Sami Zayn versus Jericho, Kevin Owens, and Sheamus or something like that. I don't fucking know. I don't know what they're doing with SummerSlam, but again, a lot of open-ended questions. Puff Daddy is going to be on Monday Night Raw next week. Please get me my NyQuil already so I don't have to see Puff Daddy. Why he is even on Monday Night Raw, please go away. Nobody gives a shit. And then Paul Heyman, obviously, back on Monday Night Raw, signs a new deal with WWE, there to introduce Brock. Brock looks a little trimmed. He looks great. You know, even after all the fucking trouble he's in right now with the USADA and the fucking drug testing and the failure of the drug tests, two of them, still looks great. But I don't give a shit about his failure. I really don't. I'm here to watch Brock, and I want to be entertained, and that's exactly what he's going to do. That's exactly what he does every time. He entertains. Brock is going to entertain the fans. That's exactly what Paul Heyman said. So pretty much, this was nothing but Paul Heyman stating the fact that, you know, Brock Lesnar is going to walk into SummerSlam and he's going to destroy Randy Orton. And the main thing here is that Randy Orton, literally, out of nowhere, has been saying, all it takes is one RKO. And they hit this perfectly tonight. Perfectly. And Paul Heyman made it a point to say, you're not going to hit one RKO. I dare you to come try and hit one RKO. There's never going to be an opportunity for you to hit an RKO on Brock. Literally. Out of nowhere. On a brand he's not even supposed to be on because they're supposed to be split rosters. Unique rosters. Exclusive rosters. Randy Orton hits an RKO out of nowhere. Levels Brock Lesnar. The crowd went absolutely fucking crazy. Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley come down with a fucking slew, an army of fucking referees and backstage security. Randy Orton escapes up the fucking crowd into the bleachers, starts taking off his shirt, starts fucking pounding on his chest. That was a great fucking segment to close Monday Night Raw. I will say that. That one segment got you fucking hyped for that match. Now it's going to be interesting to see if Brock Lesnar shows up on Smackdown to do the same thing to Randy Orton. I don't know. Being that Smackdown is live, anything can fucking happen, man. But I assume and I expect Brock Lesnar to repay Randy Orton on Smackdown. If not this week, it's coming. And it's going to be when Randy Orton least expects it. So look forward to that. Monday Night Raw did what it needed to do. Wasn't better than last week, but it got the job done, and it built towards SummerSlam. You can see SummerSlam taking shape from Monday Night Raw and being represented by Monday Night Raw. Now it's SmackDown's turn. SmackDown can only go up from last week's show. If they go down, we got a serious problem. I hope SmackDown this week is focus-driven, and it really delivers, and it needs to nail the fact home that, listen, Monday Night Raw may be the better show, but I don't want to be overlooked on Tuesday nights either. That's what they really need to do. Monday Night Raw was a good show this week, not better than last week, and that's all I want, man. I want them to be focus-driven, I want them to be creative, and I want them to be logical with what they give us. Can't complain about tonight's show. Wasn't the greatest show, but it delivered, and SummerSlam is taking shape. Good show, man. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for watching me. And I'll be back on Tuesday, as always, with my SmackDown live review. Hopefully it's a great show. I'll be here live after the show goes off the air. Until then, thank you guys so much. Hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you thought about Monday Night Raw. And until then, I'm JD. And I'll talk to you guys right after SmackDown Live. Talk to you later.